In this day of age of electronic trains and high-speed rail, one group in the South Bay is trying to go full steam ahead for a trip back into railroad history.
NBC Bay Area's Bob Riddell is live at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, where an old steam locomotive is slowly coming back to life. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning to you, Lauren. Brent, you must be talking about locomotive 2479. This beast was built back in 1923. From then until the late 50s, it ran passenger service up and down the peninsula. Then around 20 years ago, the California Trolley and Railroad Corporation, they're a nonprofit, they got the idea to start restoring it. They've been doing that ever since. They kind of hit a milestone about a few weeks ago. They finally got these wheels refurbished and back on the locomotive itself. The idea is to get this thing back up and running where it's actually going to be steam driven like it was back in the day. We got Ken Middlebrook here. How are you?
Good morning, Bob. How are you doing?
Why? Why this locomotive? Why is it important to get it back up and running?
Why this locomotive? It's the last one of its model, the last of its kind. It operated here in the Bay Area between San Francisco and San Jose on the commute corridor for the Southern Pacific. And also, if you ever seen a steam locomotive, to see them operating, that really makes a big difference. There's only 2,000 steam locomotives left in the United States, and only about 100 are operating.
You guys have been working on this for about 20 years. You still have more time. You're restricted, of course, by funding.
Right.
And then what's interesting is that you can't just go to a local junkyard and find these parts. You've got to remake everything?
Absolutely. And we do that right here for the most part in our shop that we have on site here at the Fairgrounds. And, you know, volunteers like John Blaine, our welder here, doing work all the time.
And how do you know what has to be done? I mean, do you have old blueprints lying around, or is it word of mouth?
A combination of both. Believe it or not, there are original blueprints that we restore locomotive to. There's also, as I mentioned, about 120 locomotives operating in the United States. That there's a small fraternity of people talking about what needs to be done and what can be done.
Brett, Laura, I wanted to show you just kind of some of the detail and how tedious this work is. You see these numbers up here. Those numbers represent thickness and that, of course, being the boiler.
The boiler.
And that's important because you don't want the thing to blow up.
Absolutely, because there are federal laws that we have to follow to be able to operate a steam locomotive.
And so just with the boiler alone, you have to go along and pinpoint those exact locations, and if it's too weak, you've got to rebuild it. You got to check the bolts to make sure.
Correct. Everything that basically you see on a locomotive has been touched, either replaced or repaired.
Now you're looking for money, obviously.
Absolutely.
How much money, if you had carte blanche, would you need to get this done?
Carte blanche, you know, it's a matter of time and money. If we had maybe $400,000, we could probably get this done in 6 months. So you go down from there.
Go down from.
But certainly our volunteers have creative capabilities of getting things done.
And that's another thing. People can show up here.
Absolutely.
Who don't necessarily have any locomotive experience and help out?
No, on-the-job training.
Yeah.
We're here Saturdays from 9 to 4 and on occasional weekdays.
Why are you so into this? And I look at the work. We were talking about the challenges you face, and it still could be years off before you have this up and running. Why? Why do this?
I've liked trains ever since before I was even walking. And if you've ever seen one of these operate, there's something magical. They can basically come to life. You know, when you hear that whistle blow, there's something that resounds through your whole body that's terrific. And I just love the history too behind these things, because these locomotives helped build the United States 100 years ago and helped commerce. And it's fascinating to me.
Ken Middlebrook, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Best
Bob.
of luck to you. The train, the locomotive is here at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, you guys. They're with the California Trolley and Railroad Corporation. Their website is let's see if I can read here, ctrc.org if you want to volunteer, or of course if you want to donate some moolah.
There you go. Either way, they could use the help.
Yeah. I don't know if they want me touching this
Roll
thing.
up your sleeves, Bob.
Stay away from the welder.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, want to check the commute using the other kind of trains and stuff.
Yeah, but I do have a little guy we'll send out Mason, my son, out there. He'll go help out Mr. Middlebrook.
Yeah.
He is way into trains.
So cool.
And actually, he's a lot more exacting with his measurements than I am. So, hey, we get the better of the two of us.
Future engineer.
All right.